Okay, you guys, right here, I'm going to start off with this Dawn bottle. And we get it from Sam's. And I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. Y'all, I got multiple emails. Not one, not two, not three. But I don't even know how many of this video. Anyway, and then I'm just going to cut it right here at 3 inches. And this lady made this about what I'm about to make. And y'all, I didn't do it any justice. And y'all need to go see hers. But anyway, I'm just going to cut this off here. And I'm going to clean that up. And because everything I did was crooked, so just FYI. And then I got this M&M's container, which was way too big, but that's all I had, so I tried it. Oh, I did cut that. That's that piece. It's 3 inches. I'm going to set it on top of that other piece there, and I'm going to make like a little arch there in it. And then I'm going to cut this M&M container from Sam's. Anyway, and y'all, listen, it took me forever to get that thing cut apart. And finally I did. And so, of course, shoot. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, so I decided to take my heat knife. And listen, don't do that because that just makes your plastic really hard. Y'all know this. Most of y'all know that. Use it. And it just doesn't work. Then you're cutting off so much and much more and putting harder work into it that you don't need to be. But I sanded everything down really good. And then I cleaned it with rubbing alcohol. And then I found that piece and I was like, ooh, I got an idea. And it worked for a minute. But I took this thing apart and put it back together 18,000 times. Anyway, seriously. So I did. Y'all see me, I'm hot gluing all those pieces together. But ignore the tail end there because I changed that out. That's why I got another one that I thought would fit better. It was a cashew box. It wasn't much better, but I was able to mold it with a little bit of heat. And then, see, they have to go outside as soon as I start talking. And then, oh, so I took some craft sticks and I hot glued them on there because where that was dented in, it didn't want to, it didn't touch, y'all. Listen, I've been working on this thing for 6 days. You hear me? 6 days. And anyway, it caused me stress. I officially realized last night that I'm mentally insane and I'm unstable. And I could be certified. And I'm not even joking. I'm not joking. I take some Jenga blocks there from Miss Yasmin sent those to me. Yeah, Yasmin Delmonica. And I put them in there to make this thing stronger because it kept collapsing on me. And anytime I touched it, it just wanted to fall apart. And I'm going to glue some chipboard up in there. And I traced out chipboard and put it on the bottom, like I said, to try to stabilize it better. And there I traced out the back of it. And after I put that floor foam down in there, I'm going to take A-lanes and hot glue. And I'm going to glue that piece of chipboard down in there. And I showed you all of that for really no good reason. Because I took a piece of plastic. I was like, oh, what a good idea. And then I later watched her video and realized she did the same thing. Okay, you guys. Oh, my goodness, look at my hair. So, my fat butt stepped on my truck. And I broke the whole back end of it and crushed even some of the top of it. But I got the top fixed some. Don't ask me. I know. I dropped it. And bending down to get it, I lost my footage and stepped on it. And I'm like, well, that's the best thing that's happened because this thing has to give me fit. It's the plastic. That plastic I had was so hard. And so, yeah. And my electric scissors aren't working. So, I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, my husband asked if he can borrow them. I let him borrow them. And they're not working now. Anyway, so I had to rebuild the back of my truck with chipboard. And see, now it's a little bit wonky. He looks like that truck from Mater from... Anyway, now I got to fix all that. Anyway. Oh, yeah, so... Anyway. And those are hand soap bottles from the Dollar Tree. I had to run over and get some because I didn't have anything to make my wheel wells with. Who said that fast 3 times? And I cut that in half, cut those in half. And again, they're going to be my wheel wells. Y'all see what I'm making here. And if I could do it all over again, it would not be anything. It'd be so different. It would be better for one. But I don't have the mental capacity to redo it right now. But y'all, if you do recreate it, lay the wheel wells down and then glue up inside of them. Because when I glued it and then stuck it to the side of it, did you see how thick that glue was there? And that one fell off 3 times. Because I'd already painted it and then getting it to stick to the paint, the plastic, it kept just chipping and falling off. But anyway, I take some chipboard there and I cut it. And that's just like a cereal box, y'all. And I laid it underneath those wheel wells. And here I was cutting out plastic because you need to watch her video. And to make the front end of my truck stick out. And then those are 18-inch styrofoam balls. I didn't have any of those. And I just got a box of styrofoam balls. It was funny. I laughed so hard. But anyway, and I'm going to take that ornament topper and push it down in there. And those are going to be my wheels. And yeah, and that's going to be my hubcaps. And again, her idea, not mine. And then I had made a hood. And y'all, I ended up making a clay hood later and taking it off. And then I put another hood on. Y'all will see. And that piece right there I cut out. And I took a piece of plastic from those cookies that I got from Sam's. And I glued it to that. And that was going to be the back of my truck. Well, that comes off too later. But anyway, it is glued on there. And it does stay for a long time. Yeah, so, and then I cut out a piece of plastic, and I make my windshield, and I lean it out to where, because you see how flat my thing was there? Anyway, I don't know what I did. I must have freeze-framed it. And then, okay, yeah, we can ignore that part too, because I drew some windows, and I ended up ripping those off. I am so sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to leave that in. So much has changed since then. That's an idea, though. And then I took lightweight spackling and mixed black chalk paint with it. And I filled every crack and crevice that I had on that truck. I mean, every crack and crevice that you can imagine. It is filled up. And then I rolled out some clay. Now, I'm not good with apparently making clay snakes. Apparently, I'm challenged in this area. Because they kept drying out no matter what I did. And I used both clays, and they just kept, one just flat turned to rubber. It could have been a bouncing snake. But I actually made a hood out of clay too, but I tore it off and didn't use it. But that's going to be my fender there. No, my grill. Robbed a jury store, tell him make me a grill. Anyway, so, and then I took my putty knife and cut some lines across through it. I'm going to take my putty knife. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is why my video's late. I just now got finished working on it. Yeah, and I'm not joking. And it's still, I didn't get it all the way done. I gave up. I let it win. Yeah, I let it defeat me. Yep, I'm crazy. But anyway, and that was way too big, so I did end up taking my knife and cutting that down. Because, listen, you guys, I am a perfectionist, and I hate to use this word, anal retentive, and I am, and I hate it about myself, but I can't change. I tried, and I kept comparing my truck to hers, and I knew I could never make one that good, and I didn't, and but hers is phenomenal. Y'all need to go see it. And I just kept stressing myself out about it. And so, yeah. Now, if I would just came up with it and done it, I wouldn't even care anywhere. I just went lolly, lolly, lolly. But having something to compare it to, I had to not even look at her video. And I just had to just go look at pictures of little red trucks. Anyway, here I'm cutting my running boards. And then I'm just taking that embossing tool and just jabbing little holes in it to make it look like that punch metal that's on those little trucks, or whatever you call it. I just don't know. And then it wasn't thick enough for me, so when I put it on there, I did it some more. And then that looked better. Well, I didn't mean to show you all of it. And then I just cleaned it up there with my finger. That clay. I could do stuff like that with clay. Apparently, I just can't make snakes. I know, right? I took Aileen's and I glued those windows on that I ended up tearing off anyway. And messed up my truck too, but whatever. It is what it is. And I didn't have another jug to redo that with, so yeah. And then, I know you guys, I'm so sorry. And then I had a doctor's appointment today on top of it. Like, yay. I got time to go to the doctor. This is the third hood that I made, and I kept this one. And I cut it out, some of that leftover bottle that I made the front end of the truck with. But I see how I like vent it there on the side some to make it set up higher. I like that much better. And then I cut off a piece of plastic here, and I just traced it out and fit it up in there. Yeah, in that gap, so it would make it look like, you know, it was a real hood, I guess. I don't know. And then I just hot glued it on. And then I take my knife and I cut it to make it even the best I can. Be careful, because I put that's what I can't make. Then the thinner, they kept drying out no matter what I did. So you know what? I said, where is that extension cord we did Just Our Imagination with? Could not find it. And as I was looking for it, I found the race car tracks that we did Just Our Imagination with. So instead of using clay, I used race car track pieces. Hey, you know what? You got to do what you got to do, and that's what I had to do. And then right here, I'm going to take this clay, and I'm going to make little balls. Apparently, I'm going to make you follow the bouncing balls. Okay, so really what I'm going to do is going to make my headlights. And I'm going to make little balls. And originally, I had stuck 16-inch millimeter half-wood beads in there. But I made the balls smaller, and I changed it to 10-inch half-wood millimeter beads. Because these don't look like headlights. They look like those cookies that's got the Hershey's Kiss in it. Look. It looks like eggs. Because they look like fried eggs. Eggs over easy. I don't know if what you called it. I can't talk, y'all. And anyway, and then I'm just going to take Aileen's tacky glue, and I'm going to attach them to the front of my little truck. And then, you guys, all these things I made today, I just got to tell you. Okay, you guys, and then I got a piece of a piece of plastic from the big old cookie thing. Anyway, and I cut that down, and I'm going to glue that on for my bumper. I was going to build it around, but I changed my mind. And then I'm going to take some hot glue here. I was going to put chipboard there, and then I used that racetrack instead. That's the sides of it. You know how you cut it down? That's just the sides of the racetrack. Anyway, and then I'm going to put, because I think I'm funny, forward on the back of it. And anyway, and I just got these wee little teeny tiny half-inch laders from Amazon. And I'm just going to take Aileen's tacky glue and glue those on there. And there I was trying to show you. Can y'all see up in there and see how that piece of plastic is like convex and you can see through it? I was going to take an image and put it in there, and I didn't, but I wish I would have. But I just cleaned that there with rubbing alcohol, because what I originally had planned was taking Mod Podge, what I did do is take Mod Podge, and I gave it like 3 coats because I want it to be like frosted looking, but it didn't work on that plastic. I don't know why, it just didn't, but I mean, it would have been a cute idea. Anyway, you guys, from here on out is just a lot of painting. So I painted it red with, I think it's bright red by Apple Barrel. Yeah, acrylic paint. And then what I did here was take a very fine tip paintbrush. And I took black acrylic paint. And I'm just painting like my door and my window on that way, because like I said, I just now finished it, and I wanted to make sure I got this video out at least tonight. So I just ran out of time. And actually, you know what? I couldn't think of what in the world to use to make doors with. And everything I tried, it looked stupid. Like I tried the racetrack, didn't work. I tried chipboard. And if anybody is new to my channel, I'm so sorry for all the noise. I got so much stuff going on. test I got to do tonight, and I'm just running behind on everything, and I apologize to all my wonderful subscribers. Anyway, and then I ended up taking brushed metal silver, and I painted the windows and everything that way, that plastic and everything, and it may look stupid, but what's done is done. But I painted my bumper and my bumpers and my my running board and with it, and my little latch to open my tailgate and handles for the doors. Anyway, and and then I highlighted it in black in certain spots, and then I cut 2 little pieces out and made windshield wipers out of the racetrack. I forgot to put on my review mirrors. Well, it doesn't matter. That would have been another 3 hours of me trying to explain what in the world I was doing to y'all. Not doing to you, explaining to you what I was doing. Or am I doing this to you? Anyway, here it is. And I think it looks like Mater from that race car movie, that cute race car movie. I don't know the name of it at all. I remember my kids watching it when they were little. But, yeah, I don't like it. I think it's funny looking. But it's there. You guys asked for it. See, sometimes you should watch what you ask for because you just might get it. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, again, the original video will be linked in my description box. Please go check out her video. Hers is absolutely gorgeous. And look at it looks like a bug or something. I don't know. I just don't know, y'all. Yep, anyway. But I mean, it's cute enough for cartoon land. But anyway, I hope y'all like it. Okay, Miss Robin Ellis, you won. You won those ornaments. Can you believe it? Anyway, you guys, I didn't have anything to give away this video because everything's just such a catastrophe. But I am going to give away some scrapbooking paper. And I used a piece in this video, and I had one piece of it left. It's what I got from that yard sale. And I'm going to send whoever it. Just tell me something about yourself, and y'all can win some scrapbook paper. Yeah. And oh no, Crouches in time. Miss Krista, look at that scarecrow. Is that not one of the cutest things you've ever seen? And her pilgrim, oh my goodness, that brought back memories of mine. And those beautiful pumpkins and wreaths. Great job. You guys are not going to believe what I did. And Miss Shelley, right? Shelley. Look at her little snowman. And look at that scarecrow. How cute. You guys know I'm a sucker for scarecrows. And another little truck. But you guys can have your stuff showcased on my channel if you email me. Anyway, you guys. Yeah, I forgot to add the other ones in. Please don't hate me. I'll just add them in next week. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, golly. Okay, y'all. I got those from the Dollar Tree. And they're so cute. And I had another idea to do with them. And I don't know what possessed me to do this. But I did it. And I absolutely love them. But I'm going to take that cement from the Dollar Tree and some hot glue. And if you wait and let that glue, that stuff is good glue, get tacky, and then put your hot glue on and stick it on there. I'm talking about within minutes, y'all. You can pick it up and pick it up like by the lid, and that thing is not going to come loose from that. Yeah, I'm not saying like pick it up and shake it all about, like don't do the hokey pokey with it or nothing, but you know, yeah, it dries pretty fast if you let it get tacky. You guys, we're going to have to take Abby this week and have her put down, so it's just not great. Yeah, so just have your prayers with me. And my dad came through a surgery last Monday, but there was a big scare because his blood pressure dropped down really, really low, like 60/20, and it just, yeah. So anyway, I thank every one of y'all for the prayers, and he's getting better now. Yes, he is. Anyway, but now I have to take Abby, so just keep me in your prayers. I know it's a dog, but still, you know, she's my dog. And I love her, you know. Anyway, so I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know why I got jute twine in my hand. Oh, I'm showing y'all how to make a tassel. So this, I had to cut the jute really, really long. because of what I was going to do with it. But if you just cut a piece of jute and I wrapped that that yarn that came from Dollar Tree 100 times around my hand. I did it to both of them. But after you do that, when you're done, if you pull that piece forward, because like I said, it's already in between your fingers. And what I do is, like, again, it's not normally that long, so it's easier to tie. But I just tie it right there. I don't knot it or anything. And run it through, hold it with my fingers, of course. There you go. And pull that tight. And then slide it off your fingers. And then you can tie it after you get it off there. And double knot it. And you'll see, if I ever get there, I'm going awful slow. I didn't speed that up. Anyway, now I'm going to double knot it. I'm going to start crying again. Sorry. I shouldn't have talked about it. But, and then I'm just going to cut those loops. I'm so sorry, you guys. Hold on a minute. Okay. Anyway, you cut the loops. And anyway, floof it out. And then just trim it up a bit there, you guys, and you got your tassel. And then that other yarn I used from the Dollar Tree, and it looked like it had the mange. It looked so bad. I have had it for a while, but it's just been like in a container and in a bag, you know what I mean? It wasn't even open, but I don't even know. But anyway, I'm going to take that jute and I'm going to run it through that hole. Now, I tried to tie it. That was the goal into doing that, is knotting it so the knot wouldn't come up through there. And, but, it had felt in it, and I couldn't, every time I couldn't tie it, because I couldn't get my hand up in there to tie it. I tried. It's making me nervous watching it. So I just hot glued it. I just hot glued the strings. But if you do it like that, just hot glue a string, one on each side, because otherwise your tassel will end up crooked, wonky, you know what I mean? Because it's going to be pulled tighter on one side than it is the other. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's why. I don't know why I'm doing this so slow, y'all. Oh, my goodness. Yes, you should judge me. And then cut off the excess. And then, I got this ribbon from Hobby Lobby last year. And, what you're going to do is put a part in it. Because if you cut it straight across, a lot of y'all know this. You cut that straight across, it's going to be a dead cut. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to look silly. And I knew this, and one time I made something, and I did it anyway, and all y'all came at me, and I'm just giggling like, well, there you go. That's what you get. So, anyway, then I made a part to cut up the side at an angle also. And then, excuse me, I did that to both sides. I don't know what I'm doing here, y'all. And then I'm just going to separate it here and make my little mustaches. And, you guys, I made this one and the next one and, like, in between working on that truck, but the same day. And I'm going to glue, I know, right? I'm going to glue a 16-inch millimeter would be there. Bleed, bleed, bleed. That's all, folks. And I'm going to hot glue that to the terracotta pot. And we're just going to and do the same thing to that one. And we're just going to build them up from there. Yeah. Aren't those cute? Then you can still have them for candy dishes or for whatever you want. But I was cleaning up with my shop vac, and I'm like, that is an excellent way to floof out these mustaches. Look at that. Dude, I know, right? Everybody needs a shop vac. Anyway, so I got those stickers from the Hobby Lobby this year. They were like $2.99 or $2.49. I don't even know. 50% off. And I put one on each of their hats. And one says, Merry Christmas. And the other one says, Joy to the World. And I think these are adorable. And in one, I added some, I'm going to put some greenery on their hats, of course. And then, for Pete's sakes, I'm putting greenery on both of them. Well, I didn't show you, but I put jingle bells and lights in one. and bulbs and lights in the other. And you all, these lights I got from Amazon are nuts. Look at that. I almost gave myself a seizure. Y'all will see at the end of the video. But aren't those too cute? I'm going to set them in the window. Passerbys will be like, please turn that off. That's what the lights quasi off. But anyway, wait till it's pitch black, y'all. It tickled me. They're so bright. But they're so adorable. Okay, this is a dupe. I was watching YouTube last week, and this came up on my feed, and I was like, oh, wow. And I went and checked out the channel, and it's this guy, an elderly guy. Nope. I did not mean to say that. He is an older gentleman, but he's not elderly. Anyway, and his channel was fairly new, and I was like, what a great idea. And I kind of took it and made it my own. What he did is too cute, and I'd love to make some of them. But y'all seen with the hula hoop, and I just took the rocks out, and I gave it two coats. I'll give up on life. 2 coats of white Adirondack. And I'm going to take, that's what my hair bleach comes in. But you could use like a yogurt dish or butter dish, anything like that. But y'all need to go check his out. Please show him some love. Because like I said, his channel's new. And he was so nice. He's just the sweetest little guy. And I think y'all will enjoy him. But he don't know me from Adam and a hole in the ground. But I just really would like to support his channel. And I thought this was an amazing idea. So, yeah. Anyway, so I subscribe to him. Oh, you guys, would you please, if you're new here, no one new here, y'all, if you were new, you ran, look what I did, ran for your life, look, that's 2 times, I tore up another DIY downstairs with the rubber mallet also. I'm like, this is the real life, or is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality. That's what I felt like this week. Anyway, sorry. Lost my mind. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, you guys, don't forget to hit the hype button if you still love me. And if you're new here, subscribe. I don't ask a whole lot. I'll ask once in a while, but I really like to see my channel grow. I've only been doing this for 5 years, and I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere. These other girls coming on doing it for 2 years, and they got 100,000 views or subscribers and plaques already, which I know some of them's cheating, you know what I mean? They're buying the views and buying subscribers, whatever. I don't want that. I want y'all. I want the authentic. But hey, sorry, if you like what you see, which you probably don't like what you hear, please subscribe, like, click that notification bell. Yes, you guys, a lot of y'all's notification bells have been turned off, and so you might want to check that. And I guess people's been getting unsubscribed too, so you might want to check that. So anyway, I just love you guys. I'm so sorry, and I just thank God for you because y'all put up with a lot from me. Anyway, I haven't said anything about this. I just his link to his channel will be in my description box below too. I just traced it out with cardboard, y'all. And now I get my thing working, my electric scissors. They weren't working for it. But they're working now after I'm already done cutting all that plastic. But anyway, I traced out that cardboard, you guys, and I just cut off all that excess. And, yep, showing you all the stuff. And, I didn't cut the back off that originally, but I end up having to. Y'all will see. But I'm going to take that big old ball of yarn. Yep, and I'm going to wrap that hula hoop. I cut it off in sections. There is no way I would do that. But then, Miss Yasmin Delmonica sent me that this summer. She had found it, and I'm like, cool beans, now I know exactly where I'm going to use this at. And I just made a line there to see where I needed to cut it off, and just cut across first so I can get it tacked down to my cardboard so I can start cutting it, the way it needs to be cut, because otherwise I would go ham and it would have been butchered. But I almost gave it a different background and fussy cut around the Highland cow, but I really didn't have time. But anyway, and I just cut off that excess with my knife there. And then I'm just going to take hot glue and glue this on. Now, make sure you press it down real hard. But listen, that canvas was thinner than I thought, I guess, and it burnt my hand. So use something else to roll that hot glue down, but you're going to want to do it while it's warm because otherwise it will be bumpy underneath there, and y'all don't want that. Anyway, and that's all I did was hot glue it. And, yep, I'm still hot gluing it. And the landslide made me laugh. I can't help it. I think I'm funny. Oh, no, okay, I was about to flip out on myself. But I don't know why, but I'm still hot gluing it. Oh, I know why. I was going to tell y'all to make sure you got those edges really, really well. And that's why. That's why I slowed it down for a minute. And I should have put lights in this. I had full intentions of it, but I totally forgot. I was going to poke holes in it and put lights where the snowflakes were and forgot. But that would have been cute, right? And then I just go on the edge, making sure that it is tacked down, you know, all the way up to the edge. All the way around. And then there's when I realized, okay, this has got to lay flat, so I've got to cut that half off. So I just cut it off, and then I take some poster board. I actually take 3 pieces, and 2 of them I cut down to stick down inside there, and I hot glue it down inside there. And then one of them I actually glue hot glue on top of it, and you know, make it flush with the back of that hair dyeing bowl, bleach bowl. Anyway, and I showed you all of it. I guess I could have just told you, but nope, got to tell you and show you. That way I can just talk to you and talk, because apparently that's all I've done anyway. Anyway. And then I'm going to take my knife. I'm sorry, I'm choking y'all. And everywhere y'all see that I laid wire ties, I think I laid like 8 of them. I'm going to punch a little hole with my knife there. And I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to slide those wire ties down in that little, it's like a little slit I put in it, but just punctured a hole in it. And then I'm going to set, you know, half the wire tie on the inside, half the outside. And right now I'm just going to fasten them there until I get my hoop set where it needs to set. Because you don't want to start tightening it and then be like, oh, no, that is so off kilter. But, and then after I get it where I want it, you know, get it all slid around and stuff, then I go ahead and tighten it. But you don't want to pull it too tight, because that cardboard, you can pull it completely out of that cardboard. Ask me how I know. Not on this one, but I've done it before. And you can put masking tape on it. Of course you can use masking tape to secure it even better if you're afraid it'd come through. But I just went around and cut off the excess all the way around. But another reason I didn't hot glue it, you'll see why in a minute, I guess. Oh, and then I traced out another piece of that poster board for the bottom part, and I painted that black, that top black. And I hot glued that up there to the bottom of that, and I'm going to paint it black also. And I think I cut this out or didn't record or something, but yeah, I took rub and buff and painted around the top of that ornament, that topper, and I put a piece of ribbon around it. And here I just made a shoelace bow, and I think that's what I'm doing. And I dovetail the ends, and I have no clue what I'm doing, y'all. And then I'm going to take a couple of greenery picks here, and I'm just going to wrap some jute around it, and I'm going to knot it up here. And then I'm going to take a wire tie, and I'm just going to, this is why. I can't talk today. Can I any day, though, seriously. I'm just going to slide the wire tie up underneath there and hook that greenery pick to that. And then I'm going to take a small wire tie and run it through the back of my bow loop there. And then a larger one, I'm going to tighten that up just a little bit, not all the way. And then I'm going to slide a bigger one in there, and then I'm going to tighten it up all the way. And then I'm going to run that bigger one up underneath that wreath form or hula hoop, whatever, also, and tighten that up. And then I add 2 more pieces of greenery on the opposite side of the bow, but still the same side of my thing there. You know what I mean? Y'all see. Anyway, and I think this is just too cute, and I'm going to hang that on my front door. Oh, my goodness. Isn't it cute? So, yeah, he took hula hoops and made big old ornaments with them, is what he called them, and I thought they were absolutely adorable. But, yeah, seriously, y'all go check him out, please. Anyway, they were pretty. And check out that lady's truck, too. I think her name is Creer. And it's, yeah, you'll see. Crier is what it looks like. And a lot of y'all already know because y'all already seen her. But anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Ava Scully. She's 10 years old and she lives in Ireland. And she is one of my fans. She thinks I'm funny. Ain't that right, Ava? I know. Anyway, okay, y'all. Right here. I got that big Beware side. Listen, I made this one just our imagination and just didn't get finished with it. And this is one of the sheets of paper I'm going to be sending to the winner. If y'all want to enter, I'll be sending some scrapbooking paper. And all you got to do is just tell me something interesting about y'all. I'm really enjoying reading all this stuff about y'all. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to remove the paper. I wish I got more of those when they was there because they are big. And I like the shape. They're just not square. You know what I mean? You either get a rectangle or a square. And those actually have some shape to them. And I don't know why I didn't grab more. But anyway, I'm just going to spritz it down with water. And ew, get all that glue off there. Y'all see all that glue on that one? Yeah, that one was not happy releasing it to paper. But anyway, then, I'm going to cut off some small pieces of masking tape. And I'm going to cover my holes there. And then I'm going to fill them with lightweight spackling. Lightweight spackling, whatever. And I had full intention to using this stencil I got from Amazon because I absolutely love it. And taping off like the parts I didn't want. But I broke it the last time I used it because I got scrub happy with it and bent it and I couldn't get it back in shape and it just kept messing up. So I want you to know y'all can use stencils, but that's a texture paste that I mixed together. And like I said, I like it better than that texture paste that I have downstairs that I got from Amazon. I got some from Michael's too, and I still like that better. But I take, I have in a video somewhere I did it, but one of those containers of lightweight spackling, and I mix 3 tablespoons of white school glue with it, and mix that really good together. And then 2 tablespoons of white acrylic paint with it. It has to be acrylic paint, you guys, otherwise it'd be too thick. And mix that really good. And then it lasts forever. And then if like I don't know what I'm pointing at and saying here. But if you all have it for a long time and you feel like it's getting dry, stir it first. It might look runny when you first open it or too dry, but always stir it. And then you'll see how it is. And then, but if it does start to get too dry, just add a little bit of acrylic paint. And it does not take much. But after you get it on there, just smooth that out real good. You can do that with a craft stick also, you guys. And then I'm just going to pull my stencil. I made that with my Cricut. Pull my stencil up. I didn't have any other stencil like that I could take to the edge that kind of had that same like pattern like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying apparently. Anyway, and then I'm going to tape it off here. I just go right to the edge, that next line there. And put down some painter's tape. And I'm going to take, what am I taking? Whatever. What is that stuff? That Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm not going to put it on heavy, just lightly put it on. And then I'm going to swirl my brush around in those little swirlies to get all that thickness out of the, yeah. And then I wipe it off on a paper towel, and then I go back in and clean it all up. And make sure you do the sides, too, y'all. Always do your sides. It just looks so much nicer. And then I'm going to pull that painter's tape off. I'm going to turn it around after that dries, of course. And I'm going to paint it with Chiffon Cream by Rust-Oleum. And you don't have to paint the whole thing. And the only reason I did is because I accidentally put down too much paint. I just scooped it out there with my paintbrush. But if you paint away from it like that, start on your tape and pull away, you don't have bleeds. I don't. You push your tape down really well and then do it like that. And I don't ever have bleeds, you guys. Anyway, and I always pull it off when I'm wet because I don't like any of my paint to come up with it. And then, And then I got some black paint on it from that truck, believe it or not. I'm going to cover that whole thing with Mod Podge. And then going to let that dry. And I'm going to measure it out here. Because I want from that hump, one end of the hump to the other end. Look at that paper, how pretty. And I had 2 sheets of it. I'm going to send one of the winners one of them with a couple of coordinating papers and another Christmas paper. I know, it's so pretty. I love it. I fell in love as soon as I saw it. Look, I moved it right there and didn't realize it. And I got it offset. And I was like, that's it. I'm throwing it in the garbage. I'm done. I was so frustrated. So dramatic. Oh, anyway, you look at this big giant gap that happened. I was like devastated over it. I showed May and she kept saying, where? And I'm like, oh, whatever. She's like, you're so dramatic. Look at that big old gap. But it's offset. That's what got me. See how it went offset there? I know. It was just over for me. I was so done. Oh, no. Anyway, okay. You guys, I got those letters from Walmart when they were 99 cents. That had to be in 1864 for sure because they haven't been that cheap in a long time. But anyway, I sand it off the excess and then I put Waverly Antique Wax on them. And I was hoping I could take my E and cover up that giant crater that I left in it. And I could. But anyway, I'm just going to take Aileen's tacky glue and I did distress them with that chiffon cream also. And anyway, goodness, I think this is gorgeous. I just added a jute hanger to the back of this, y'all, and I didn't show it. But because my paper was offset at the bottom and I could see it and it bugged me, oh, I'm not finished yet. I'm just talking ahead of time. But I take those bamboo skewers from Amazon and I just cut them down and I take Aileen's and put them on there. And when they dry, I take antique gold rubbing buff. A little bird told me to do that, or very, very loud, bossy bird told me to do that. Anyway, and I'm going to glue some holly leaves down here with 3 berries to cover up that crookedness. I can tell it, okay? And then I just take 1 leaf and 3 more berries and I put it in them. Oh, I did darken up my leaves with antique wax to make it more vintage looking, you know. And I put one in the middle of my O with 3 berries, which was my intentions anyway. But anyway, yeah, if you guys want to win scrapbook of paper, just, congratulations, Robin. Just tell me something interesting about yourself. I've learned, like, about your jobs and how you found me and just different things. And I don't know, it's been really fun reading about it, you guys, because I want to get to know y'all too. I'd love to be able to meet you all, and we're going to be doing a live soon. And I got a lot of craziness coming up next month, so just get ready. Have those notification bells on because it's going to be a lot of videos. Okay? I love this. I think it's gorgeous. I do. Yes. Hi, Wesley. He's my Texan little dude that I made that advent calendar for. Mwah. Anyway, here's everything, you guys. And you're awesome too, Wesley. And I love that big old ornament thing. And I love that. I think that is beautiful. And my little guys, oh my gosh, these are so cute. Oh, I don't even want to look at that truck. That thing is just dilapidated. I think it's got flat tires. Anyway, I hope she don't see my video and be like, why did she ruin my truck? You know what I mean? I know. But her channel name is CRIAR. And I don't know if you guys have already seen her, but she's amazing. And she made these 3 snowmen that I'm like, I'm just, oh, yeah. Anyway, I want to make them. But I hope I don't damage them like, you know, anyway. Excuse me, but look at these. Ooh, I seriously, I was like, oh no, seizure. Divert your eyes if you do have seizures. And then I put them on the one blinking, and here they are. I finally got them not to blink. Those came from Amazon, y'all, and I got like 12 in a pack. And I didn't know they had 3 settings like that for nothing. Oh, gosh, you guys. I love you guys, and I'm so sorry I'm late. And I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.